Most theories say that something along the lines of that national law is generally made to mirror the way in which society wants to live. Human rights, on the other hand, are supposed to be abstract. They're not supposed to mirror the norms of one single society. They're meant to be above all cultures, above all politics. The universality of human rights is an incredibly seductive idea. They should be applicable in any political regime, in any culture, in any place on Earth. But there's a catch. In fact, many of the articles in the UDHR literally echo the constitutions of the US, France, the United Kingdom. For a state to be able to enforce most of these rights and procedures, a specific state structure is needed, which would ideally have to be very similar to the European systems. What is happening is ideological imperialism all over again. The way we are trying to enforce them is by forgetting to have dialogue. It is by forgetting that there is not one way to do something. It is talking about having to save other people from their own bad cultures. Whenever stories are heard about a man having 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 wives, the entire community's traditions and habits immediately become less trustworthy. And maybe we even demonize them as a whole. Yes, it's difficult, maybe even impossible, to find a proper definition for culture. But culture is not static. Definitely not. Norms and traditions have different applications in different contexts, even if it's the same practice. So even though human rights are supposed to be above any culture, Western culture greatly influenced human rights law. Therefore, in some UN documents, official documents, you can find quotes that say that practices such as polygamous marriage are necessarily always a violation of women's rights, and that communities that allow such practices must change. By falling victim to such a rhetoric, we fail to see that laws can never work if they don't reflect what people in a group want. And actually, by antagonizing entire cultures, we forget that they too want to live nice lives, and that they could give us important insights on how they would improve their lives. The forceful rejection of dialogue leads to the inevitable conclusion that there is a hierarchy of cultures. Human rights are supposed to be universally applicable. They're committed to equality, diversity, and difference. So we need to be careful about how we talk about human rights and how we try to enforce them, and maybe we even have to rethink a lot of the content. Happy Human Rights Day.